At the junction of Bellbrook and Marketplace stands a small brick building generally known as Penkridge Old Gaol. The name is slightly misleading. This was not a prison where convicted offenders served lengthy sentences. It was a village lockup, a secure place in which someone could be detained temporarily, usually until they appeared before a magistrate or could be transferred elsewhere. Historic England dates the lockup to the early 19th century. Some local visitor information suggests it may have begun as an 18th century barn before being converted. What can be established with greater certainty is that the building was being used as a lockup during the period before Penkridge had a permanent police station. The structure is built from red brick, with stone dressings and a plain tiled roof. It's only 1 story high and contains 2 cells. Its most immediately recognised feature is a small square window, protected by iron bars. A second segmental-headed window has since been blocked. In the early 19th century, policing in villages such as Penkridge was very different from the organised service we know today. Responsibility for maintaining order rested largely with local constables. Before the development of professional county police forces, a parish constable was often a local man appointed to carry out the duty for a limited period. He might have performed a role alongside his ordinary occupation, rather than working as a full-time copper. If someone was arrested, particularly late in the day, the constable needed somewhere secure to keep them. The village lockup provided that temporary accommodation. Those detained in buildings of this kind might include people accused of theft, assault, poaching or vagrancy, even drunkenness or disturbing the peace. Some would be released without any further punishment. Others might be taken to the local magistrates, while those accused of more serious offences could eventually be committed to Stafford Jail. Unfortunately, no complete register of the prisoners held in Penkridge's lockups presently known. It would therefore be misleading to attach particular crimes or individuals to the building without supporting records. A night in one of its cells also didn't necessarily mean that a person had been found guilty. A lockup was principally a place of detention, not a court and not a prison for serving a sentence. Its position in the centre of Penkridge reflects how local the administration of justice once was. The lockup stood within sight of houses, businesses and people passing through the village. Opposite the lockup's the Old Cottage, a much earlier timber frame building. Local traditions associated the cottage with the constable, and sometimes describes it as a place where prisoners were brought for judgment. Some sources say that it's thought to be the judge's house. Local history also records that magistrates conducted business at the Littleton Arms. Inns frequently provided rooms for meetings, auctions and official proceedings, so some of Penkridge's legal business may have taken place in surroundings that were otherwise part of everyday social life. Immediately outside the lockup are the village stocks. These form a separate Grade 2 listed structure and are believed to date from the 18th century. The stocks consist of 2 timber posts and boards containing 4 openings. An offender's ankles could be secured between the boards, leaving the person seated and exposed to public view. Stocks served a different purpose from the cells. The lockup confined somebody while they were awaiting the next stage of the legal process. The stocks were a form of punishment, intended to cause discomfort and humiliation after an offence had been dealt with. Local accounts suggest that Penkridge had stocks for approximately 500 years. Now this obviously don't mean that this timber's 500 years old. Outdoor wooden structures just like these needed often repair and replacement. The present stocks are probably 18th century in date, but they may continue a considerably older village tradition. Penkridge's police arrangements changed in 1858 when a police station opened nearby in Bellbrook. The police station building had originally been constructed as a savings bank in 1819. After that venture failed, the building was converted for the police, and 2 cells were added. According to Staffordshires historic environment, those cells have survived, substantially unaltered. The opening of a proper police station made the older village lockup increasingly unnecessary. It represented a wider change from parish constables and temporary detention buildings to permanent police officers working from dedicated stations. The police remained there until a replacement station opened in 1954. The former station later became Penkridge Library. As a result, 2 different generations of local policing survived within a short distance of one another. The early 19th century village lockup and the later police station with its own cells. Both the old jail and the stocks were granted Grade 2 listed status in January of 1986. Staffordshire's historical archive describes the jail as only one of 3 surviving village lockups in the county. Penkridge Civic Society restored the building during the late 1990s. On the 31st of July 2000, it opened as Penkridge Heritage Centre. The conversion brought one particularly modern addition to the old jail: a toilet. Installing it cost 10 grand. The Heritage Centre raised £1,000 itself, while the remaining 9 grand was met through external funding. And £10,000 may sound a considerable amount for one toilet, but fitting modern plumbing into a small Grade 2 listed building presents difficulties that would not arise in an ordinary property. The work had to provide a useful facility while respecting and protecting the historic structure around it. Whether that makes it the most expensive toilet in Penkridge is difficult to prove, but it must surely be a contender. 10 grand, mate. The building's valuable not because it housed nationally famous criminals or witnessed a celebrated trial, but because it preserves evidence of ordinary local justice. Its 2 cells, barred window, and neighbouring stocks show just how law and order operate before modern police stations, custody suits and professional policing. It is a small building, but it records a significant change in Penkridge's history. The transition of justice administered within the village community to the more organised system of policing that followed.